Hi, good morning to everyone, and welcome to today's NTEEP live session. We are sorry for the inconveniences for delaying your time. There was a little hiccups here, so we needed to attend to it. So let's just go straight to the point. So today, our live session, we are going to have our topic for today is personal branding. And just a little recap of what NTEP stands for. So NTEP stands for Numfro Technologies Entrepreneur Empowerment Project, which is dedicated in supporting startups and entrepreneurs across Africa with digital tools, mentoring, and accessing global opportunities. As we are here today, we've empowered over 1,600 startups so far, and we are excited to have this journey started with you today too. And our team this year is fostering a dynamic ecosystem that drives growth. So thank you, and I hope you enjoy today's session. So today's session is on personal branding, and our speaker was supposed to be Tânia Tomé, who is the president of Womanize and CEO of Echo Kaya. But unfortunately, today she can't join us in the live session. So we have a pre-recorded video of that presentation, and we are going to play it live for us all to enjoy it. So, and the speaker for this very one is going to be Maryben Omollo, who is the founder of Maryben Foundation, championing mental health and leadership and inclusion. Her program have impacted over 10,000 professionals across over 20 countries plus. And key areas include CEO coaching, emotional intelligence, diversity, and women empowerment. She has earned over 14 global awards, including top 5 LinkedIn influence. If I want to mention, we'll mention it. So let's just get right to the work. So we are coming to play the live video. You just watch it. And we are going to put in the attendance sheets in the chat box. So
Thank
as
you
you
very,
watch,
very much.
you
Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, depending from where you're joining us. And I want to start by this. Imagine, just imagine, because we're in personal branding, just imagine that for a moment, your business card is handed to you, plain as it is. This is a blank business card. No name, no title, no company, no address, no nothing. Just a piece of paper like this. Now, think about this. What would you say to someone in just 30 seconds that would make them want to know more about you, work with you, or even invest in your vision? Now, in today's fast paced world and highly connected work environment, business environment, those 30 seconds can make all the difference. It can either build you or destroy you. Now, your personal brand is what speaks for you. You don't have to be in that room, but it has to speak volume about you. It has to introduce you to people. It has to open doors for you. It has to make the impression and leave people wondering, who is this person? Who is Ruth? Even without knowing your name, they want to know, who is this person? Now, it builds a reputation about you over time. It's the essence of who you are. It's the distilled into the power of narrative that can open doors for you, can make people forge a relationship with you, and um, create opportunities. Just like Ruth has said, I'm Ambassador Maryben Omollo, and today we are going to we're going to delve deeper into the art of science of personal branding. I always consider it as an art. Sorry, I always consider it as an art of science because it's all about personal branding for entrepreneurs, personal branding for individuals. And one thing I like saying is that even if you have a million and one connections or people following you on social media, it doesn't mean that you have a personal brand. Now, think about the most successful entrepreneurs you admire, people you want to talk to, people that when you see you're shouting, you're screaming, and you're telling them that, you know what, you are someone that I want to talk to. You are someone that I want to network with. Is what sets them apart, what sets them different. Is it not just their business acumen or their innovative ideas? It's their personal brand. It's how they communicate their values. It's how they communicate their vision and their own mission. Now, it's the way they make you feel connected to them. It's the journey that inspires you. Now, in this session, we are going to unlock the secrets to building a personal brand that resonates deeply with your audience. Well cover practical steps, and that is what I wanted this time to be a bit unique, whereby we are going to learn about our own different steps. How do we create it, even with social media? How we going to go about it? It's not something that I'm coming to tell you that, you know what, Ruth, this is what your personal brand should look like. This is what your personal brand should be. No, it's something that you as an individual, you're going to create it for yourself. You're going to craft your own unique identity. Now, as we begin, I want you to consider one powerful question. And that question is, what do you want to be known for? Not just today, but in the years to come. What legacy do you want to leave behind in your industry and in your community? So, today, let's embark on our transformative journey together. By the end of our time today, you will have tools and insights to create your own personal brand that truly represents you and gives you an identity and what you stand for. Thank you for joining us. Now, Ruth, are you able? Okay, I've seen I can be able to control my slide. Now, when you look at the first page, it's quite enticing. It's all about personal branding, crafting your unique identity in business. I'm also a coach, and one of the things I have learned to do in coaching is to let you decide who you are, not me telling you who you are. Because if I start telling you who you are, trust you me, you will start building yourself, building your vision, building your brand based on who I think you are, but not who you are. So it will not be your own prototype, but rather it will be a direct imagination of me to you. Okay, so let's go to our next slide. What is personal branding? That is the first question you need to ask yourself. What is personal branding? And the word says that personal branding is a marketing strategy focused on the most important person, the most important product, and that is you. And one of the things that I love is that today we're going to analyze us, ourselves, as a product. You know, the way you go to the shelves, and one of the things I remember, there's something we normally say, all I don't know if it happens in Nigeria, but here in Kenya, all the toothpaste we consider them to be Colgate. And now anyone you ask, even at 3 years old kid, which toothpaste do you want? They will just say Colgate. Now, if you ask even a 3-year-old kid, which toothpaste do you want? They will just say Colgate. Now, you are the brand. So you need to understand, how do you market yourself? That when someone says, I'm looking for a marketing agency, they will just think of Ruth. I'm looking for an IT firm, they will just think of Edgy Smart. That is the first thing that is going to come into their mouth because of how you have positioned yourself. You are the product, you are the market. And one of the things that I'll put in a bit of a humor in it is that we women, we always being asked, what do you bring on the table? And what do we say? I am the table, meaning I am the product. So that is how you need to look at yourself. You are the table, you are the product. Now, why does personal branding matter? You need to understand how you put yourself out there in the market. Now, why does personal branding matter? A lot of people always say that, you know what, I don't care about what people say about me. I don't care about what they talk about me. I don't care how they view me. As long as I am okay, as long as I am alive. Now, that what only matters to commoners. Allow me to use that. It only matters to commoners and average people. Now, if you want to be the person, if you want to be an outstanding individual, if you want to offer solution in your organization, in your community, this matters. Why does it matter? Number one, it gives you credibility and gives you a long-term standing. Number one, you get to see the consistency in your product, the consistency in what you offer, the consistency and credibility of everything concerning you as a marketing individual, as a startup. What is it you stand for? Now, when you're building your personal brand, your identity, it builds your credibility and gives you a long-term standing. Just like Colgate, let me use that example. Nobody understands this white dent. Nobody understands this Pepsodent. We all have those. But what is that one thing that differentiates Colgate to other brands? And that is credibility, durability, longevity. Colgate has been in the market for more than 120 years. Now, you look at all that, it has been able to stand it because of their personal brand. What do they stand for? Now, it attracts opportunities. There's something we normally say that, you know what, hang out with people who would call your name in rooms you're not in rooms full of opportunity. Now, imagine this when someone knows you don't deliver, when someone knows your product is not genuine, they cannot open doors for you. In fact, when someone mentions your name, every other person will bring down your name in that room and say how you're not credible. Now you are able to attract opportunities based on how your product looks like, based on how you look like. You can have an amazing product in the market. You can have very, very amazing ideas, coming up with amazing prototypes, but your character is a miss. And based on your character being a miss, you end up losing opportunities. And that tells you when you're coming up with a product, you are also a product because your values and your product values are supposed to be in line together. Again, it matters because when you're able to establish authority and expertise. And this is very important because you get when you're called up, when even organizations or not even organizations, even the government cannot make decisions in your line when you're not there. They will always say, Ruth is in charge of this. She's very conversant with this. We need to make decisions based on her. And you'll be called in those rooms and you're being told, you know what, Ruth, we need you to give us an understanding on how we should in the entrepreneurship world, how we should craft out policies that are investor ready in this industry. And that's why you see personal branding is important. Now, number three, what are the key elements of personal branding? The key element is effective communication. Number one, how do you communicate your product? Are you authentic with your communication? Are you collaborative with your communication? Are you complacency? You know, when you start maintaining an effective communication and speaking about what your brand is going to do, what your brand is going to change in our economy, what is the difference? Why is your brand important unlike the other? Is it solution oriented? And one of the things I tell startups when we're coming up with ideas, we have to ensure, even if we are depending on funding, we ensure that our products or our solution are self-sustenance. In that, if we don't get funding, or if it was being funded and the organization pulls off, does it mean that our startups are going to collapse? Or does it mean it's going to be self-sustainable and be able to create job opportunities for other young individuals or even our own communities? Now, if you have an effective communication of who you are, what you stand for, what problem are you going to solve in the market, who are your target audience, it becomes easier for people to identify with you. And mark this, when you want to deliver an effective communication, remember that your brand is supposed to identify your audience, number one. Number two, what are you standing for? What do you find unacceptable in that market? And as startups, one of the things I tell us is this: don't just move into um, that line of business or that environment because you've seen somebody else making it. You need to understand what do you find unacceptable in that market so that you can be able to communicate effectively. Number two is networking. You need to network with like-minded people. You need to build and maintain a professional relationship with different individuals. You look at them and wonder, what can what product can we work together? Can we build synergy together so that we can bring um, an amazing product in the market? One of the things I discourage entrepreneurs is the fact that you've gone to this event, you've seen Davido, and you're a fan of Davido. You want to snap a photo with him and put it on social media so that people can see, you know what, I've hung out with Davido. The question is, if you call him, will he pick? Definitely he's not going to pick, because why? He would feel you're becoming a distraction or a bother to his life, and perhaps he will assume that you just want to borrow money, and that is what people in high places always assume. Now, when you have an effective communication, and remember what I said in my preamble, the 30 seconds introduction is what is going to give you the credibility of hanging around with such people, networking with the most important people in the market. One of the things I do personally when I walk in such networking events, I have handpicked the people that I want to talk to. I look at my project. For instance, this is how I always introduce myself. Hi, I don't even say my name. Hi, I kill for a living and mend hearts for a living. It leaves an impression of someone wants to know more. What do I kill for a living? And how do I mend hearts for a living? And is this person at a risk of being killed, or is he or she at a better place of their hearts being mended? Now that is an opening mark, and it leaves this person speechless, and the person would want to know. And then we get to dive deeper. And the person sees, yes, Maryben is running a foundation and she's also running an extermination company. Now, are we able to create synergy on the foundation, or are we able to create synergy on this other side? And I become a problem solver in their life. Now, the value proposition. Now, this is one of the most important questions. What do you bring on the table? And this question, I always tell people, it's not all about the money orientation. Now, what it's all about, what value do you have? What is it about your Ruth that I can capitalize on? What is it about me that Ruth can capitalize on me? You clearly communicate your value that you bring to the audience. Now, when you communicate that value, regardless of the product, I tell people, no matter the product you're selling, whether you're selling simple tomatoes, whether you're offering IT solutions, whether you're selling groundnuts. Now, when you understand the value proposition of the groundnut you're selling, you can be the largest producer or the largest supplier in your country based on effective communication, your networking skills, adding your value proposition. Why should people entrust you to supply groundnuts for peanut butter? Why should people entrust you to supply uh, tomatoes for making tomato paste? Now, once you're able to understand the value proposition, it becomes easier. You can say, for instance, your tomatoes are organic, not chemically produced. Right now, we see the world is growing so very fast, and you see the West are trying to preach for us the benefit of using an organic product. Now, why is yours gonna stand out? You're doing organic product. Now, have speciality. This is one of the most important part, or rather the most important aspect. Now, your key element, when you're having speciality, we need to understand, are your products female oriented, male oriented, community oriented? Are you offering a solution to this specific organization? Or not even, sorry, not specific organization. In an organization, is your product based only on employees, employers, HR departments, or whichever specialty you pick? There's someone who's focused purely on supplying children clothes. And you would wonder, for the longest time, this person has been supplying only children's clothes. I'll give an example of one person within Nairobi CBD. This man always puts on a suit, nothing else. He's always on suit and selling pencils. And I think I have one here on my desk. I had bought it from him. Yeah, these are the pencils the guy sells every single day from January to February. And the man puts on a suit. Very clean. When you look at him, you might think he's a banker. Though he used to be a banker, he has maintained the same thing. So I was driving with my brother and we stood in traffic, and he asked a question when the guy came to the window to ask me buy pencils. So unfortunately, I couldn't buy because I have this. I remember my brother asking, why is this guy selling pencils on the streets? Purely to the car driving individuals, or rather to the car owners. And he said he should look at us and realize we are grown ups and we use pens and not pencil. So he assumed that if the guy would be selling pens, ink pen, a lot of people would buy. And I told my brother, no, the guy has built his speciality just to sell pencils. Because ask yourself, how many families have children? And each family has probably two, three, four, five, or even six individuals. And what does he do? He only targets parents whose children are using pencils. And myself, being someone that I love to draw, I use a pencil. Now, the person was able to build his specialty. That tells you whatever you pick on, it is not an issue. The issue is, how do you place it in the market? How do you brand it? Okay, on to our next slide. Building trust and credible brand. Your personal branding reflects on your value, your skills, and personality. It helps to build a trust that your audience can, it helps to build a brand that your own audience can trust. It makes you different from your own competitors, and we've spoken it in the previous slide. It attracts opportunities and clients. Now, if someone asks me, where do I buy my pencils? I'll just tell them, go along Kenyatta Avenue. There's always one person you'll never miss to notice. He's always putting on a suit and working with pencils. He will sell it to you. And that is what I do. Every single time when someone asks me about my pencil, that is where I direct them. I buy it for my nieces and my nephews, and you can imagine I have 7 of them. So each and every time I have to buy 7 boxes of this, including mine, 8. Now, it builds your clientele each and every time when you're able to stand out and build a credible brand. Now, it helps you attract authority, or rather establishing authority in your field. For instance, you've seen what has been happening in Kenya, and most of the things is I'm known for mental health, women empowerment, and personal branding. Now, and even entrepreneurship. I was called to put up a speech as to why we reject the finance bill because it's going to affect the professional department. I had 5 different organizations, youth organization here in Kenya and even across Africa. Now, what that when you build that your brand and you're known for that, you're known not to be corrupt, you're known to create value, you're known to craft uh, friendly policies, investor ready policies. Now that is what it does. And the other day I was laughing with Sir AJ and I was telling him I'm supposed to host the president by end of the week. And why did they have to pick me? It means my personal brand stands out and it exceeds other people. Now, that's why I'm saying when you build a strong brand, let it set you apart from your own individual. Let it set you apart from other mischievous individual. You stand for the truth. One of the things we know in Africa, if you have to make it in life very fast, you can make it through what lies or money laundering, as we call it, wash in your country. I believe it's Yahoo boys. The moment you start getting into all that, it means you're never gonna build a credible um, personal brand. Now, because I was told it's only 40 minutes, so I will not dive so deep into the preamble because I had to set the foundation earlier. Now, how do you create your personal brand? What is your story? Remember in our first slide, I said the most important product is you. Now, how do you do it? Remember now, here we are creating our personal brand. The first story is about you. Where is your personal brand right now? Where is your story? Are you just an average person? You walk in the streets, you dress the way you want, you walk the way you want, you talk the way you want. Remember, once you choose to create your brand, it means you're going to limit yourself from a lot of things. This starts from how you dress, how you talk, how you respond to people on social media, the kind of words you're going to use, the kind of verbal, literally, you're going to pick your own verbal adjectives. And when you're building your personal brand, it's in line with leadership. One of the things I always tell people, and the hardest thing to be is a leader because other people will insult you, and all you need to do is keep quiet and smile. Now, that is what happens with your own personal brand. You can see here it says before you create a new personal brand story, you'll want to take a stock of where you are right now. Ask describe you and collect words that describe you. This is creating an empowerment and honest answers. Just ask people, how do I show up for you? And the able to answer. That is the best thing I've seen. Now that we are having a WhatsApp community, put it on your status. Just ask people, how do I show up for you? What is the first impression you have about me when you see my photo or when you meet me at event? And they'll be able to tell you. Some will tell you, you know what, you're a problem solver. Others will tell you you're tough-headed. Others will tell you you're this, you're that. You know, others will tell you you're a snob, and you need to look into that. Each and every time I do that, every single time I get. Every week I write on my status, what do you think? How do I show up for you? And if I don't put it on my status, I ask few individuals who interact with me because now I'm in the public space and you know you can't. There are those who don't like you naturally. There are those who appreciate how you work with them. I run a mentorship group of campus students of over 1,000 of them. So each and every time I ask them every 2 months, how do I show up for you? What do you think when you see me in those auditorium? What is the first impression that I bring to you? And they're able to answer. And each and every time I write it down and I analyze and I tell myself, this is how I want people to see me as a problem solver, as mending hearts, as offering opportunities, as kind, as warm, in as much as I'm kind and warm, but I'm assertive, So once you start doing that, it gets you the first stage of building your personal brand. Number two, what attributes do you want for your personal brand? Now, when you're creating the for your personal brand, it means you want people to understand what do you bring on the table. It's a pattern that merges above. As a pattern merge above, ask yourself, you'd like to modify those words. And that's why I had said the most important thing is how do you want them to see you? What do you want to contribute to your community, to your church, to your startup community, uh, to your business? What does your business needs to stand out? You can pick as many as you want, but I would advise you either do one or even two. Now you start analyzing them and writing them down. Now to the next slide. You create your personal brand story, your audience. Who is your audience? The people you hope to serve, to attract. Is it the political space? Is it the entrepreneurship space? Is it the 0 to 5 mothers in terms of business, or rather in terms of kids? If you're offering to sell pump diapers, whichever thing. Remember, I told us earlier that whatever you choose to sell, anything, even toothpaste, can make you a billionaire. The secret is, how do you want to be known for? Who is your audience? Now, once you sit down and craft your audience, you understand. I'll give an example of myself. Right now, when I do mental health coaching, my main audience is the corporate world. And when I look at the corporate world, I aim at the C-suite corporate world, the NGOs, the top NGOs, and the top 100 companies in Kenya. Those are the people that I want to venture, or rather to partner with. Now, when it comes to mentorship, I look at the campus students. I look at the gap. What is happening with the Gen Zs? What is happening with the millennials? A lot of them took courses based on what their parents told them. Now, I understand when my mentorship programs are coming up, they are clearly designed to these specific individuals, the campus. And I run I'm an ambassador under the empowerment, women empowerment across Africa. It means when I am in the season of women empowerment, clearly all my posts, starting from my posts, my projects, my handouts, all of them are in line with empowering her. So for me, because I have built my brand for the longest time, I'm able to manage that. But when I was starting, I was venturing into this field, I had to start with one specific brand. I was always identified. In Swahili, it says kuua mende, meaning extermination of cockroaches. So everyone used to know that lady who exterminates cockroaches, who's running a cleaning and pest control company. They never knew my name, but that was my identity. And I really liked it. If someone would post my quote on their status, they would say, I know this lady. This is that lady who runs cleaning and pest control. My brand was selling like that. And I was very much comfortable. Now, fortunately, as time went by, people are identifying me with mental health. If they look for someone in mental health, they'll always say, call Maryben. Why? Because on top of that, I had to stand out. Right now, getting counseling services is very expensive. Then I had to look, what can I do even to build my brand? What service can I offer? And I realized, yes, getting counseling services is expensive. Now, what am I going to offer? I'll do free mental health counseling for entrepreneurs. So on a monthly basis, we meet up over 100 individuals. At times we do 200, just free mental health counseling. And I have a community, just a WhatsApp group for purely mental health discussion. You are not allowed to advertise anything. Say your problem, say whatever you're going through, and we will be able to counsel you. Now, I understood who is my audience. Entrepreneurs, we suffer a lot. So I give them that platform to air out their views. Now, what does your audience need? You need to ask yourself literally the core need of my audience. Again, I would ask this. If you're offering solution in your community, what do they need? Remember, your product cannot solve each and everyone's individual needs. Not everyone can afford your product. When you understand that, you'll be able to know I'm creating a product for the middle class earners, the wealthy, the poor. It still works. The poor, the middle, in the middle class, the upper class. Or are you creating a product for the middle age individual or for the old age? Are you creating a product for the entrepreneurs? Now, once you understand that it works, I told someone about creating a product for the poor in the society, and they said it can't work. I can't serve the poor. Now, here's the story of how I don't know if it is being sold in Nigeria or in the West countries, but it's happening here in Kenya. A lot of people love coffee so much. But when you go to the supermarket, you get the biggest tin for coffee. It's probably going for $3 or $4 or even $5. Now, when you look at that, it's not going to serve the common wananchi. We call them the common wananchi. It cannot serve the poor. Why? It's expensive. So this person is torn in between. Do I have to buy food? Do I have to pay education? Do I have to do this? Now, what did we do? We came up with a small sachet for the Nescafe. And this small sachet, I don't know how much it is in Uganda, but in Nigeria, but here in Kenya, it's only 10 shillings. It's close to zero, literally. So it's like we are giving them for free. So when this person is buying it for 10 shillings, the person might end up buying even 10 pieces, which is 100 shillings, which is $1. 10 pieces to 20 pieces, which is $2, and the person believes it's going to serve them for even 2 to 3 weeks. Have we not solved the need? We have. When it comes to sugar, instead of selling a whole kg, 1 kg for them, what do? You packet it in a way that they can buy it even for $20. No, not $20, $5, $10. You see, now you're able to define who is your audience. What does your audience need? Cheaper product. Are you able to not reduce the quantity, the quality, but are you able to reduce the quantity to feed, or rather, yeah, to feed and align with your client's need? If you're able to do that, you sit down and start analyzing your audience, what they need, how do they need, how do you do the package? And remember, the same product, the small sachet, can be sold in the poor community at $1. The same sachet can be sold to the wealthy community at $10 or $20. And trust you me, they will be able to buy. Okay, so it's all about who is your audience, what does your audience need, and how do they need it, and you align with that. Now, your brand, your mission. Who are you? What is your mission? What do you find unacceptable? I tell people the shortest way to build your vision and your mission is that one thing that you find unacceptable in your community. You find unacceptable in your business acumen. You find unacceptable in your society, even in government. Now, when you start your building your mission and your vision towards it, it becomes easier. For instance, you can say, I want to be the best mental health activist in Kenya. In 5 years, I become the best mental health activist or the best mental health coach in Kenya. Now, in the 5th year, now that I have become that, now that what becomes the mission as we now craft a new vision to becoming the best mental health coach in the world or in the whole of Africa. Now, this now becomes our current mission on the 5th year. And then we craft a new vision. Now, I had done an example because I want to share this PowerPoint to us to help us craft our own personal brand. I wanted to approach it differently, not always being told this and that without being given a roadmap on how to do it. For instance, what is your brand mission? Now that you know the attributes you want your brand and your specific audience needs, it's time to put it all together in a brand mission. Every piece of your brand will come back with this statement, from the way you talk to your audience, to the articles you want to share with them, to the or solution you want to offer. I am so and so because my audience need this and this in order to do this. Now, when you see that, it says, like for the examples I had given, I am positive and kind because aspiring writers need to know that their writing and publication goals are achievable in order to bring a more diverse set of stories to the world. You see, you have already positioned yourself. Who are you targeting? The writers. That is number one. Number two, what is your value proposition? You're making them understand that, their goals are achievable to bring more diverse sets of stories to the world. You're able to tell the African story. We've seen how the West countries have implied about the African stories. They only show the rural areas, the suffering in the rural areas, the farming in the rural areas, but they don't talk about the stories of the beauty of Abuja, of Lagos, of Nairobi, of Mombasa. They don't talk about that story. So what are you gonna do? You're gonna be positive and kind enough to help them articulate the stories and tell the things the way they're supposed to be. I am a feminine and kind because women in tech need to know they are not alone in order to leave a legacy of powerful women in tech. For the longest time, we have believed that the tech world belonged to men. But now women are joining in tech. And when they're joining in the tech world, how are you going to help them understand that you're a power woman? You're gonna live this. Now, use this in any area of your life. Use it in line with your own startup, in line with your own business. Why do you think you're like that? Now, when you go on the north side, your brand mission should share the story of the core emotional value that you bring to your audience. I normally tell people the secret to sell is not in your product also. It's the emotion. You're selling it. You're using the emotional aspect to sell to people. People buy based on emotions. How does your product make me feel? If you tell me, you know what? Imagine if you're putting on this outfit and you meet your ex who told you that, you know what? You're never gonna make it without me. And you're attending a function with the ex in place, or rather, he's also in attendance. You will pick it because you know what? You want to show that person that, I have made it in life. Whether you said I could not make it, but here I am. I have made it. I am putting on an expensive poncho or rather an expensive outfit. I have put on expensive makeup or expensive hair. Here I am. People will always buy based on emotion. So if your mission is a catchy to their emotions, you're able. Now, as human, anytime we interact with other people, we come back to two core questions. Can I trust this person? Do I want to know more about this person? Authenticity is the key to building trust and connection. And your brand mission will encourage your audience to want to know more. Ask yourself, is my mission authentic? Is the change we want authentic? Is the nation we want authentic? Is the business I'm selling authentic? Is the product authentic? Am I authentic? When you're able to do that, it means you're starting to create your own personal brand. Now, create your communication plan. We are living in a fast, volatile world. We always say the VUCA world. We are living in it right now. And everyone tends to look at you on your social media. If Ruth sends me a message, well, the first thing I'll do is I'll go on social media and check on Ruth. Who is she? What is she doing? How is she um, putting up or showing herself out there? Even employers right now, when they're looking through your CV, they also go out there and start looking at how have you placed yourself on social media. Now, First part is turn your brand's mission into a bio. And this also works so much on LinkedIn. In LinkedIn, I have over 74,000 connections. Now, my brand, my bio carries my brand. What do I do? I wish I would have put it here, but I'll be able to share it. Now that you have a brand mission, now it's time for you to apply your mission into a storyboard. The most selling thing is storytelling and emotions. Now you have to write down your bio. And when you're starting to put up your bio, you need to have it brief that communicates who you are. I have a couple of examples at the end of the slide. Now you have to start writing about who you are and what you do to highlight the value you bring to your audience. People are going to connect with you on social media. People are going to connect with you in real life. They're going to do that based on the value, we spoke about it, and who you are. Now you'll want two versions, a longer and a shorter one, which you'll use on the shorter version, you'll use it on your social media channels. The longer ones, you'll use it in your articles and your website. And you be sure to bring your personality. Now the longer version is I, a verb, and a verb, and then outcome. What are you bringing on the table? We've seen it on the other side. My work has been recognized by, you write a couple of awards and other things about me. That is the longer version. Now the shorter version, it's sorry, let me go back. The shorter version is sorry, I, a verb, and the work you have done and awarded. Simple as that. And who you are. Like, for instance, I tell people I have over 16 awards. I have been awarded for mental health and humanitarian. That is offering solutions because I ran the foundation. Now, we are serving the communities. We are serving the less fortunate. And our main aim is working with the young single mothers between the age of 15 to 32 because we feel this age is being exploited. So that is what we do. We have over 16 awards because of that. Now, each and every time I write my bio, I clearly state who I am. I'm a global mental health and executive coach. What do I do? Again, I help organizations and individuals understand and maintain their mental health. Over 14 awards with over 10.2 million views, or rather individuals on social media. Now it states who I am and it will make you as Ruth be interested to work with me if you're in the area of women empowerment, mental health, community development, and even you're running your own organization. You'd want to help your employees understand work-life culture. You'd want your employees have a stable or a stable mental health. It becomes easier for people now to communicate with me. I'll give an example. I've always wanted to interact with the African, it's called AWIEF. I've always wanted to interact with them. I've always been interested to know who is the founder, who is the CEO, how are they able to run big conferences around Africa. And yesterday, yeah, it was actually yesterday, their founder, who is running a multifaceted organization, sent me an inbox on LinkedIn. I was very excited. I felt like jumping up and down, but I had to compose myself. She's the one who reached out based on what? My personal brand on social media. This woman has over, I think, over 10 million women following her, not on social media, but following her organization. The other day, they held the biggest women conference in Rwanda with over 5,000 women in attendance. So you can imagine the kind of excitement I had. Why? Because when you look at my social media, it is well articulated. It is well put. My bio is direct to the point. And what do I bring to the table? She was interested to connect with me based on women empowerment, and I was over the moon because this is one woman I know for a fact in if it was 9 years ago or even 5 years ago, I wouldn't have connected with her. But she's the one who reached out based on social media, what we are putting there. Now, when you're creating your communication plan, the first thing is select a professional headshot. Now, this is where I tell people I know we are all beautiful. I know we all want to put on something, a headshot on our social media. Now, you can imagine this on your professional social media. You're putting a photo you post like this. Definitely, I'll know you're not serious. Or you're putting on a headshot whereby you're standing like this, you're doing this, doing that. No, when you're putting it, you need to put a professional headshot that speaks about your value. If possible, you can put a headshot that is aligned with your own brand colors. It is not a must, but just saying if it is possible, you need to put that. You need to ensure the photo is the first impression. If it is on Facebook, you can put something funny if you want. But even if you're using your Facebook as as a channel for building your brand, then it means it needs to communicate your brand. Now you look at your headshot, you put something professional that shows your value. Your photo is, remember, it's the first impression that many people see. So they go extra mile. So go extra mile to ensure it's well polished and professional. And then here I'd written, we suggest having a professional photographer to capture the image of you in a budget that allows. Keep in mind that you want the photo to be recent, to present who you are, and you'll want to use that photo in all your digital assets as a brand consistency. Now consider a color scheme font. Along with your headshot, the color, I've actually even spoken about it. The color font you have to use should say a lot about your brand. Specifically, the top colors and the front must be consistent to your online presence. I go with black and gold. The reason as to why is because black is authentic and gold is royal. The gold speaks of power. So for me, my slogan is bold, authentic, and intentional. That is what I stand for. So when you look at my colors, is all that. It's brown. It's gold and black. The one we've used here, it's for the organization, which also stands for who we are. There's the purple, there's the yellow, there's the hand. It speaks about what we bring on the table. Now, create your communication plan. Take a stock of your digital presence. Go back, and this is an assignment I'm giving to us. Go back and look at your social media. What have you been posting? What kind of outfits are you posting there? And I would tell people, at times we want to look good. We want to put on some kind of different outfits. If you're doing that, you need to know, if you're doing it, keep it in your gallery and not sharing it on social media. But it also depends with the kind of people you want to interact with. Now, always update your online profile. I have created, we will, because of time, we will all be able to go through. I'll share the slides. It will take you step by step on how you need to update your profile. You need to create a personal website, though it's optional if you want. And I would recommend that, despite what you offer, no matter how small it is or how big it is, put up a simple website. It starts from simple to complex. It all depends with you. And I'll also share because of time. Now, create your communication plan. This I'll not dive into it right now because I'm looking at our time. This I'll also share. It gives you a breakdown of what you need to do. 33% of industry specific, 33% inspirational, 33% personal. Now, let me give us a secret on how to post on your social media. When you want to offer solution, number one thing is start with your personal story. When you put up your personal story, then go to the industry. Put up your personal story, inspirational, then what the industry is supposed to do. Why should they reach out to you? Why should they buy your product? But first, remember, you've captured your audience through what? Your personal story. This also applies with our own lives. How do you want to be noted out there, even at home? So we can be able to go that. And I've even updated on the resume for those who are also in employment, they can be able to check that out. Now, This is one of the example on the social media. This I took this kind because my audience needs solutions for healthy eating in order to empower people to make better choices of their health and wallets. Who is our audience? My audience is working women on budget. What is the audience need? My audience needs a quick fix, budget conscious solution for healthy eating. Her bio is there. I share quick budget friendly recipe, meal preps time, meal preps tips, and healthy hacks for women on the go. It's there. Her short bio, I share quick budget friendly recipe, meal preps tips, and health hacks for women on the go. My award-winning blog has been featured in numerous popular food sites. I believe in the power of work and choose to go. Her attributes are there. She's warm, kind, helpful, straightforward. We can be able to see it there. I'll still share this slide. And then we look at this other one, who is a fitness guru. He has shared about his mission, who he is, his audience, his bio, his short bio, and who he is. Now, gives us a clear impression of who this person is. And let me tell you, this is not only limited to such people, it's limited to us. You go sit down and start analyzing who you are. I had to make this presentation as simple as possible. I didn't want to make it so complex because I needed us to start from within, not at the top. When you're able to start from the bottom and grow, you should be able to understand consistency. And this also helps for people who are 6 to 10 years in entrepreneurship, employment, whichever area you are. When you're able to follow the consistency and the steps, it gives you a great clear and a great picture of who you are. This is for someone who is in sustainability. She's a sustainability consultant. It also speaks of her mission, her long bio, her short bio, her audience, what the audience needs, and her attributes. Remember, it is not limited. And that's why I have given three different examples. This is a professional one. Previously, we spoke about the fitness guru is in health. And here we are also talking about someone else who is in health and food industry. Now, it tells you you're not limited. You shouldn't feel like I have put you out of place. No, I would have added myself, but I didn't want to do that because I am your facilitator. Now, back to this other side. Sorry, I had to rush it through. And this is meant to be on a question and answer session, please. Back.
Oh, sorry, my mic was actually muted. Okay, so I just want to personally be here to apologize to each and every one, also to appreciate you for your patience. We had to kick off this session very late. That is because the speaker for today was supposed to be Tânia Tomé from the US, but I learned that she did not get the information early from the team, and this is what resulted to her not able to come up today. So that being said, she was here with us last week, and I believe that the session taken by Maryben. I hope this was Maryben is a professional when it comes to personal branding and mental health. She would also be joining us tomorrow, taking us on mental health. So I just want to once again say thank you for your patience. For Q&A, Maryben has been with us for years, so please do well to connect with her on LinkedIn. We're already out of time, so won't be able to take questions right now so that you can continue your activities for the day. But tomorrow, the same time, we are going to be here. For attendance, the host is just going to play a short video on how to fill your attendance. I learned that I was told most of you are asking on how to complete the attendance. It's not that complicated. So just watch the video and then I will say it again. We sincerely apologize for the delay. And tomorrow, I believe that we'll not have this kind of delay moving forward. This will be attended to. So thank you and enjoy the rest of your day. And wherever you are joining from across Africa, we wish you the best of the day. Take care.
Okay, for the attendance, it's really that easy. If you're using a desktop, then laptop, just open the video, the particular video that you would like to mark the attendance. Under this title, just come down and you will see more. Okay, this just click on it and you would see the details, description of the video. If you scroll down, then you're going to see attendance, and then there are also other information here regarding that session. So you just open it and then click on this form, and that's it. Okay, if you're using a mobile phone, then this is easy. All you just need to do is check this more under the title on the video you like to mark the attendance. Just click more and you're probably going to see something like this. You need to click it. You can see there we have these three dots, then more. So you need to click on the text again, then you're going to have this the detailed description, and then you'll be able to see attendance. Then just click on the link or copy and paste on your browser, and you should be able to mark the attendance. So it's that easy. So I hope this helped.